English are two different things. Honorable Speaker, moving on, the Honorable Oudo, in his submission, again was asking how will Chang'aa brewers, or rather he asked that many of his, many constituents who are Chang'aa brewers, and posed the question that what mechanism will be there to collect this money, and I think it's the same question that the Honorable Opio Wandai was asking, what mechanism will be there to collect this money as directed by the court. And Honorable Speaker, it is indeed true, as the Honorable Otiende Omolo has submitted, that it is the courts that said we are not levying this tax to a certain section of Kenyans. And therefore, in curing that problem that the court pointed out, then a provision was created for us to use the Tax Procedures Act, as has been clearly stipulated by the chair of the Finance Committee, to collect from every Kenyan who is earning an income. And Honorable Speaker, whether you are a farmer, whether you are a Chang'aa brewer, and maybe to Honorable Oudo, it is brewers, not Chang'aa brewers, because Chang'aa brewing is an illegitimate trade that I don't know whether there is a way of collecting taxes from a legitimate trade. But for any person who is involved in legitimate earning of an income, they shall be obligated to pay this under the Tax Procedures Act. And Honorable Speaker, there are fears that, like the Honorable John Badis has said, that KRA will harass people. KRA is a tax collector, not an agent for harassing Kenyans. And they will collect the taxes that are due from Kenyans in the manner provided for in law. Finally, Honorable Speaker, and I think is also an issue that you addressed when I think Honorable Junet or somebody else objected to the beginning of the debate on the question that appears on the memorandum of objects and reasons for this bill. Honorable Speaker, you put it so well that the memorandum is a storyline. Is a storyline describing what the proposer of the bill thinks of his bill. And at the point we formulated this bill as a proposer, it was my thinking that it will not affect county governments because it was a money bill that was designed to collect taxes, Honorable Speaker. But I have since been informed and guided even by the Speaker when the two speakers consulted and agreed that this bill does concern counties. Honorable Speaker, I am certain if and when this House dispenses with this bill, it will certainly be on its way to the Senate. And I have been in consultations with the leader of majority in the Senate. They are indeed waiting for this bill in the Senate.
Order majority. Yes, Honorable Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, the majority leader raises a very interesting issue, which we need to investigate as a House on how bills are done and are published. Mr. Speaker, if a bill is styled to be a bill not concerning counties, and thereafter the proposer discovers that indeed it concerns counties, should this bill be printed afresh and published? Should it be debated in the manner in which it appears to be? This raises a legitimate...
Order,
Mr. Speaker,
Order, I'll cut you there. The matter you are raising was actually raised here by your leader, the minority leader, and he prosecuted it very effectively, and the chair ruled on it. One, that the Speaker of the House and the Speaker of the Senate are satisfied and concur that this is a bill concerning counties. Two, that whatever is in the memorandum is something that will not find itself in the body of the law when you pass it. Three, that at committee stage you can amend anything, including the memorandum, to expunge any offending words that tend to indicate either impliedly or expressly that the bill does not concern counties, because it does. And it was all agreed by both sides that this bill concerns counties, and from here it will go to the Senate. So if you had been here when Wandai was contributing, you wouldn't have raised that point of order.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I was hoping, Honorable Speaker, you would tell the Honorable TJ give him the same response you gave to the Honorable Nyikal, that is also suffering from being absent from the House.
Yes.
Because that is a matter that was indeed canvassed, and you made a very reasoned ruling on the matter. And indeed, as I was indicating in conclusion, Honorable Speaker, this memorandum, as the Speaker directed, if anybody desires to amend the memorandum or my storyline of what the bill is about, you are at liberty to amend it when this bill comes for third reading. With those very many remarks, Honorable Speaker, allow me, Honorable Speaker, maybe, Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, Article 38, Clause 38, Honorable Speaker, and the Honorable Engineer Mwengi also spoke to the issue of the contributions, voluntary savings. And to an extent, he confused the voluntary savings to voluntary contributions into the fund. And the voluntary savings referred to under Clause 38 refer to savings towards contributing a deposit. And is a deposit that the Honorable Chair of the Finance Committee has very ably stated that the provision that was there for a 10% deposit, and I remember when the units in Nakuru County were in Bondeni, Nakuru, were advertised, Kenyans raised that particular question as to whether how many Kenyans will be able to afford 100,000 shillings, and that is what the chairman of the Finance Committee has indicated that they have proposed in their committee report during third reading to remove the provision for a 10% deposit, so that Kenyans, even what we do, Honorable Speaker, when you are getting into a rental house, you are required to raise a deposit of 2 months deposit and one month rent, or 1 month's deposit and 2 months rent, and you pay an equivalent of your 3 months deposit as your deposit is probably something now with the removal of the 10% deposit that could be considered by the people who will be selling these houses under the fund. Honorable Speaker, with those very many remarks, let me conclude by saying that this bill is not just about a levy. This bill is not just about houses. As I submitted when moving, this bill is about provision of jobs for millions of our youth who are languishing back in our constituencies without jobs, and plead with all of you to vote for this bill. And voting for this bill, honorable members, you'll be voting for jobs. I will wait to see, Honorable Speaker, how many of us here will vote against jobs for Kenyans, jobs for Kenyans, jobs for your constituencies. This bill is nothing other than about jobs, 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 jobs for your constituencies. Vote for jobs. Vote for employment. Vote for homeowners. Vote for wealth creation. Vote for a new Kenya. I submit and I reply, Honorable Speaker.
Order. Order. Honorable members on both sides of